Hey, what's up, YouTubers? This is Herm Says Play to Win, and I'm back with another War Thunder Ground Forces replay. So this time on Kursk. Now I'm just going to pause it right here. So, Gaijin is experimenting with this new spawn system. So in order to spawn a vehicle, you have to have spawn points. And so to spawn this T-34-85, I need 200 spawn points. So I start out with 450, so I can spawn either the T-34-85 or this T-34-57. Now, I get more spawn points as I do things in the battle, so killing enemy units basically. And so if I were to have this tank get knocked out, in order to respawn, I need to have enough respawn points in order to spawn another vehicle. And so I would need another 200 respawn points in order to spawn another T-34. And so, well, if you think about it, what this means is that if you're playing a higher ranked tank that requires a lot of spawn points, so say 400 spawn points, and you get into a battle, and your tank gets knocked out really quickly before you have the time to really do anything to pick up more spawn points, that means if your tank gets knocked out, that's it. You're out of the battle. You don't have any more spawn points. And so, this implementation of the spawn system has been very controversial. What I found is that it tends to have a snowball effect, meaning that if you're on a team where a lot of your vehicles get knocked out really quickly, that means that your team is not accumulating more points in order to spawn more vehicles. And so what can happen really quickly is that the enemy team will simply knock out each of your team's vehicles once, and because your teammates don't have enough spawn points to spawn again, that's it, they're knocked out of the game. So yeah, so a team that jumps out to an early lead in terms of killing enemy vehicles, enemy player vehicles, can really see their lead keep just increasing, so in a snowball effect. On the other hand, I've also seen battles where one guy on a team does especially well, and he will get multiple respawns. I think the most I've seen is like 4 respawns for one guy because he was having like the game of his life. And so yeah, when you have a situation like that, you could have just kind of a battle of attrition where one side outlasts the other in terms of the number of spawn points and therefore the number of vehicles they can just deploy. Okay, anyway, enough about the spawn system. So we're on Kursk, and for once I'm seeing Soviet mediums actually playing this map well, and so I am in the T-34-85, and I've moved to a spawn position to the left of the enemy's position, so putting a shot in this AI here, and this was really a pleasant surprise because there are also a couple of friendly T-34-85s here with me to do the flanking. And so, okay, so that AI Panzer IV was taken out. Trying to take a shot at another target, which is probably AI. Yeah, I think that was an AI. And so we're starting to take incoming fire from enemy anti-tank guns. So we have 3 T-34-85s flanking the enemy's left. Meanwhile, there are, I think, 3 friendly vehicles in a more center position, so like around F3, I think, who are also whittling down the enemy. So we're attacking the enemy from 2 sides, and that's exactly what you want to go for if you're the Soviets. Because up to rank 3, the Soviet tanks are armed with 85mm guns, and at this range on Kursk, where the engagement distances can be in excess of 1 kilometer, the 85mm gun simply doesn't have punch to kill German tanks reliably. And so I've always been a big advocate of using flanking tactics for Soviet mediums, and in some cases for Soviet tank destroyers as well, if they are also armed with the 85mm. Okay. So, got bumps there by my teammate. I was thinking, oh, what the heck hit me? And then, yeah, I saw this guy drive by. So, yeah, these T-34s are being rather bold. Now, the lucky thing for us was that the enemy team actually deployed along the center ridge area. And so there were no enemy tanks, enemy player tanks here to engage us. Which was kind of unfortunate because we're left just shooting at AIs. Nonetheless, though, I think this goes to show the success of flanking tactics using T-34s on this map. So, see a TD down there, trying to pick my target, trying to line up the shot, and first hit kill. Those are always nice. You can never tell with the wonky damage models in this game. So this game's free to play, it's an open beta. It's actually been in beta for like 2 years. The thing is though, it's not a true beta in the original sense of the word so much. I mean, Gaijin is clearly making money off of people, even though this game is quote-unquote in beta. And, okay, I can see people paying into this if people like the game. However, though, that kind of creates a perverse incentive for the developer not to have to address all the outstanding issues in this game. Because as long as you keep the beta tag on, there's always going to be this fig leaf for the developer. You know, they can always fall back on, well, this is an open beta, and therefore it's not going to be a finished product yet. And so, you know, we'll deal with all the bugs and the glitches, but you've got to give us time. Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of that. However, you know, it kind of is what it is at this point. What I would say, though, is if you pick up this game, so this game is free to play. If you pick up this game, though, and you feel this urge to spend money on premium vehicles, I would say, you know, if you get 1 or 2, I mean, that can definitely help you along in your grinding of each of the tech trees. But apparently there have been people who have spent over $1,000 US on this game, and that's really, you know, I don't think that's a good idea, because it might just give the developer the idea that people are just going to pour money into this, whether it's a good product or not. And really, in the end, we want to see a game that's a good product. Right now, there are all kinds of issues with this game. So, all I've played up to are rank 3 tanks, when there are 5 tiers, 5 ranks. And that's because the upper ranks of tanks are really rather imbalanced at this point, as we take damage from an enemy player in a Panzer IV F2. So I've been tracked, and what I didn't know at the time was that I was considered to be in the cap zone. And so when I repaired, I not only repaired the tank, I actually was undergoing reloading of the tank, and because I was reloading, I couldn't move. So it keeps popping up this message, reloading in progress, because I can't move, I'm reloading. And so I'm kind of stuck here taking shots from this enemy player here. And I didn't mean to do that, to sit here in the cap, completely defenseless like this. But you know, with this game, sometimes it's really hard to tell, I mean, where you are. Because if you look at the mini-map, I mean, I'm not in the cap circle, or I'm not in the zone that's marked A. And yet when I hit repair, it counts me as being in this zone, and now I get knocked out because I couldn't move. So that's a stupid system. Anyway, what you can see now, so let's pause it here. What you can see now is that I have a huge number of spawn points, and so I have over 1,900 spawn points. Now, the price for spotting a vehicle actually gets recalculated as the game goes along. But even at this price, 410 spawn points, I can spawn 4 more times. So what I'm limited by now is the number of spawns allowed per vehicle. So I've used up 1 of the 2 spawns for this vehicle, but I have 2 of 2 spawns for this other vehicle, so I can spawn up to a maximum of 3 times. Now, immediately you can see that this creates team balance issues, right? I mean, you know, I think you want to reward people for playing well, but not at the expense of just gross imbalances in terms of team strengths. So anyway, this game is just about over. So we pretty much wiped the floor with the enemy team, and I think this just goes to show the effectiveness of flanking in T-34s on this map. So, yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And, yeah, hopefully you'll stick around for more. I think this game has promise, but it definitely needs some work. Okay, see you guys later.